Hey there. Today we're here with April Rovero, the Executive Director and Founder of the NCAPDA, the National Coalition Against Prescription Drug Abuse. April, thanks so much for being here.
Well, you're so welcome, Charlie.
All right, well, this interview, so to speak, is intended to inform parents on how to deal with substances and how to ensure that the substances stay out of their children's hand. So let's just jump right into the first question. What are the signs that your child may be using alcohol and or other substances?
Well, Charlie, there are basically two things to look at. You've got some physiological things that are going on and also some, let's just call them emotional kinds of things. So physiologically, what you'd want to look for is your child losing weight. Are they appearing differently? You know, there's something going on with them visually. You can look at pupils. Are they dilated? Are they constricted? Are they behaviorally not wanting to do the things that they used to love? They don't care about football anymore. They don't care about cheerleading anymore. There's a clear difference. They're losing weight. They're sleeping more. There's visually things going on. Their behaviors may be erratic. They have maybe some emotional outbursts and that sort of thing. So it's different behavior than a parent would be used to.
Right, I see. So you have like all these signs, and of course, this is like a really touchy subject to bring up to your children. So do you have any advice on, like, let's say like you're seeing these warning signs in your child, how would you bring the subject up to them?
Well, I think the number one thing is don't be confrontational. You know, you hopefully as a parent have a really good relationship with your child and they're open and discussing things with you. Often that's not the case though. So what you want to do is approach the conversation in maybe not in a matter of fact way, but certainly not confrontational. You want to explore with them what's going on. Show from a position of love and caring that you're really concerned about them. And so it's not like you're going to be in big trouble if I find out you're doing this or that, but basically I'm concerned about you. Let's talk.
Yeah, no, I think that's great advice because a lot of the times, like the kids tend to think that their parents are like cracking down on them, whereas like the parents just, are looking out for the child's safety.
Right.
And so in the event that the parent does find out that the child is using a substance, what are some of the available ways in which they can help their child move away from substance use?
Well, once you determine that there really is a real possibility, or you even maybe have proof, you found paraphernalia or some real evidence of that in their room or car, or whatever, the key would be to go to a professional. Typically, you want to go to your doctor, you want to go to a counselor to do some outpatient like oriented things before you would consider, putting somebody into some kind of a 30-day program, let's just say, where they would be, basically away from home in that program. You really want to do an assessment, find out through professional support what really is going on. To what extent is there a problem? Is it just mild? Is it just in its budding stages? Or is it pretty well defined? And, some more, detailed, let's say, help is really important to pursue. And that can be done through these professionals.
Yeah, definitely. And how do you make sure that your child doesn't continue using these substances in the future?
Well, there's no guarantee, but I would say the very first thing you want to do is, as a parent, you need to be educated, right? So a lot of times the PTAs, the school system puts on, parent ed things, go to those, educate yourself. There
Hmm.
are also some really good resources, and I'll share some of the website information that people can move over to. Certainly they can access it through our own organization's website, but learn everything you can. What are the trending drugs? Vaping, learn about naloxone and that being used as an overdose remedy for opioid overdoses. Learn about the opioid problem, what's going on with fentanyl out on the streets, and it's showing up in pretty much everything and taking a lot of life. So learn about that and share it with your children. And not from the perspective of just drugs are bad, just don't do them. Share why they're bad, how they impact their teen developing brain, and what the potential downstream impact could be from developing a substance use disorder and how difficult it is to move away from that. Education, education, education. That's what our organization's all about.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I think like as children, we're often told that like drugs are really bad, but we're never like shown videos of like what they can like do to people until like much later in high school. And at that point, there's a lot of influences already. We might not, have the negative effects of drugs like ingrained in our head. And so I think like starting from a young age, that form of education is really, really crucial.
Yeah, and young age, Charlie, I would say like, by 10 years old, unfortunately, we're seeing drug usage being driven down to younger and younger levels. And so
That's true.
definitely by middle school, you need to be having these conversations. And I would say absolutely pay attention to the fact that once your child turns 18, you don't have control anymore. You don't have any influence. You can't force treatment.
Mhm.
So, find the problem early and deal with it early.
Yeah,
Would be my
definitely.
absolute advice. So
Well, April, thank you so much for sharing these tips and guidance for all the parents who are watching. Feel free to share any additional resources that parents can look towards that you provide as through the NCAPDA.
yeah, and Charlie, here's just a real quick glimpse at our contact information. So people can go to our website. They can certainly call us. YouTube channel, we have so many educational videos, so please join us there. We've got Facebook and all the usual social media platforms too. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share today, Charlie. Great to talk to you, and I look forward to this making a difference out there.
Of course, you as well. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.